Hi guys, and thanks for watching me as newpairofglasses.com. Welcome to part 12, The System, in the Masters and Controllers series. We've covered just some of the many reasons why the controllers parade puppets in front of the world who supposedly are self-made millionaires or billionaires. Achieved fame and fortune, and own and run some of the world's most successful companies. Just some of the reasons are to hide the existing caste system. Who truly controls the money and owns and runs these companies? To hide the clandestine nature of these companies, and to use the carrot method of control to keep the population invested in the system. As the years have gone by, the billionaires who supposedly created ultra-successful companies out of their wonderful ideas, talent, and intelligence in this capitalistic society have gotten more hip and younger and younger. These supposed billionaires get younger and younger because this facade is geared more to target the younger generation. It is the perfect time to get slaves invested in the system for life. It is less targeted towards the older generations because anyone who has been working at their childhood dream year after year with no success eventually knows through experience that they will never get there. But by then, they settle or give up. And then they are usually well rooted in the system by having created a family, by having children. Another way the controllers get their slaves for the system. The only ones who have seemingly created large success have only done so through having sold their soul to get where they are. As long as someone's full time and attention is invested in making a dream come true, they won't be looking for the truth. As long as someone's time and money is invested in training, education, and parlaying the next best idea into profit, the longer they are held captive as a slave in the system and continue to have to work to put money back into the system. Going to college for most means many years working in the system to pay off college loans. Taking out loans to start a business, buy a house, a car, etc. takes years of paying off. Credit is designed to keep you a slave. For most, it is just about trying to survive in the system, and as long as someone is just trying to survive in the system, there is no way out of it. Keeping people's time, attention, and money invested in the system is the ultimate goal. Create and keep needed workers or slaves for a system that requires them. In any system, it must have workers or slaves to survive. The workers are the slaves. They just don't call us that anymore, but that is exactly what we are. We have been bombarded with images of what a slave looks like, in shackles or working on a plantation. But that is done purposefully to make us believe we are free and not slaves at all. All the work we perform is for the system. It is not for us. We don't perform any work for ourselves, which is the opposite of subsistence living. Subsistence living is defined as living off what you yourself can grow and make by taking only what you need from the land. By growing your own food, you are no longer relying on the mass markets and vast retail networks of the world. You need to understand that to be in the system, you have to work for the system. To get any benefits from the organizational system, you have to put into the system. The system compensates its slaves for their work through currency. Currency allows slaves to live within the system. You must work to contribute to the system to get the benefits afforded by the system: heat, shelter, food, banking, etc. The traditional view of the caste system is a closed system, where the people of that society are born into certain categories that determine their way of life, opportunities, and social customs. These are closed systems in which mobility between castes is not typical. In closed systems, more emphasis is placed on accepting social standing, with limits to how far one can deviate from the expectations of one's level in society. Class systems, or open systems, are said to include frequent movement between different statuses. In an open system, activities devoted to improving one's status through personal achievement, such as moving on to a better paying profession, are expected. Mobility, either upwards or downwards, is more common in a class system, while in a caste system, people of different castes are traditionally in a more fixed social position throughout life, regardless of their individual abilities. We are led to believe that the United States and other free capitalistic countries are examples of class systems or open systems, and that while it may not always be easy to move from one class to another, that it happens frequently. But if there ever were class systems that existed, they have been long extinct, as the consolidation of power over the years has destroyed them. The caste system has existed in every civilization since the beginning of time, including ours, despite what we have been led to believe. The Hindus don't even hide their caste system. The caste system divides Hindus into 4 main categories. The main castes were further divided into about 3,000 castes and 25,000 subcastes, each based on their specific occupation. Outside of this Hindu caste system were the Akuts, the Dalts or the Untouchables, top-level controllers or masters of that society. The serfs, back in medieval times, were the ones who did all the work. They were afforded certain rights in land and property, but paid taxes and had to remain loyal to the lord or noble. In nature, we can see examples of natural caste systems. For example, ant colonies. There are drones, workers, who don't know they're the workers. They just are, and they will never be anything other than the workers. And we exist in our own natural caste system. Bee colonies are another example. The communist view of the Western caste system was 2 castes: the proletariat, the working class, and the bourgeoisie, the oppressing ruling class. What we truly live in today are caste systems. The only ones who break out of their caste or class are those who sell their souls for a very high price. I will cover exactly what that means to sell your soul in a future video. Unlike the 4 levels of a caste system that exists within the Hindus, our caste system is more like 2 to 3 levels. The lower, middle, and upper middle class are still part of one caste, the workers or slaves. You can move within this caste, but you will never truly reach the castes above you, the nobility and royalty, unless you are born into it. Those who seemingly break out of their class by selling their soul are still never looked upon as equal by those who are born into it. You are only ever as equal as the caste you are born into. This scene from Titanic is a great example, showing how new money Kathy Bates's character is seen by those from old money.
But the purpose Mistress of University to find a suitable husband. Rose has already done that. Look, here comes that vulgar brown woman. Quickly get up before she sits with us. Hello, girls. I was hoping I'd catch you at tea. We're awfully sorry you missed it. The Countess and I were just off to take the air on the boat deck.
What a lovely idea. I need to catch up on my gossip. Countess?
Do you really think someone like rapper Jay-Z, supposedly now the 5th black billionaire in the United States, or someone like Lil Wayne, is accepted by those who come from old money? No. The money that they want us to think these people have is not their money at all. They are still viewed as bottom-level slaves. This is what happens when these puppets think that this money is their money.
I went in the bank, you know. I got 200,000 on my account, and I was in the bank, and I come out the bank, I see the police. I walk to the car, I see one of them put in my bag like him. So they come bum rush me at the car and put me on the ground, put guns in my head, you know, like. So I'm like, what I do? And then later, like, I was supposed to have 200,000 on me, 200,000 on me. So I'm like, I'm a millionaire. Like, how can I not have 200,000 on me? They said somebody wrote a bogus check, and they thought I did a bogus check too, but I'm legit. So they confused me with whoever they were looking for. They confused me with them and thought I was doing something bogus. Until they realized, when they checked my account, saying I was worth 1.3 million, and they realized, you know, he's a multi-millionaire. So we gotta let him go. And they apologized to me, but they just took 100,000 of my money. I'm finna go to the police precinct right now and go get my other 100,000. So I'm finna get my money from them, and I'm finna get out the city. I gotta roll.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but I gotta ask you, what are you doing with $200,000?
I finna go buy me a vehicle. They got the new Mercedes Benz out, you know, like the Maybach.
Right.
Maybach, I finna go get one. I was about to go buy one cash, but they just really made me so mad. I don't need one. I might go buy a Ferrari now. I feel aggressive. I feel fast. You know.
So they thought you were going to rob the bank.
They thought I was getting a bogus 200,000 out the bank. They thought the 200,000 I was getting out the bank was bogus, like it was a bogus check I gave them or a bogus deposit I got out, you know, whatever withdrawal. They was a bogus withdrawal. But somebody else had did a bogus check, and they couldn't believe that I was young, black, handsome as hell, and I was getting 200,000 now. And they were like, man, you know, they couldn't believe it. Young, black, handsome, and I had my Rolex on, you know, I had my bust down Rolex with all the diamonds in it. You know, I'm my rich folks stuff today, you know, 200.
So how much you got right here?
This 100,000, they took 100,000 from me.
Why,
It's 100 G's right here, cash money.
why did they take the first 100,000?
They said they doing an investigation on it.
Make sure it's
legit.
okay. So why not just write a check for the car?
The thing is, I'm a rapper. How I live my life, I don't believe in checks. I don't want to go to the car lot with no check. My dream I always dreamed about was going in the bank, getting $500,000 out, and taking the car lot $500,000, putting the money on the disc. Like, give me that ghost right there. Like, so where I come from, we don't believe in taking checks to the car lot. We take cash money. It's still legit. It's this check. This the check right here. This the check.
I'm sorry. You have to forgive me. I rarely ever see somebody with $100,000 in cash in their hand.
I told them 100,000 on me everywhere I go. The world know me. They know what's going on with me. I go by now. I'm a black young star representing 3 level CMG. Everybody know I told them 100,000. That ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. I might throw this in the script club tonight. Just because they made me mad.
They took the money because it's not really his money. Oh, and don't worry, they most likely got the rest later on. It is all a part of the deception to create the belief that you can do and be anything in our current system. Rapper Kanye West is another great example of someone who has sold their soul, cracked under the pressure and fallen out of line with his role, and said publicly what the truth is, and especially about his financial situation.
It's a new world. Feelings matter. Because guess what? Everybody in middle America felt away, and they showed you how they felt. Feelings matter, bruh. It's a new world. It's a new world, Barack. It's a new world, Jay-Z. You might not like it, but they gotta hear it. They here to massage you with a fake truth, and you wake up, you still can't believe it. You know why? Because you was lied to by Google. You was lied to by Mark Zuckerberg. Right now, press, get ready to write your passive-aggressive LeBron James racist comments, season 4 racist comments. Get ready to have a field day, press. Get ready, because the show's over.
A sheep that went off the rails. He tweeted that he is actually $53 million in debt, though Entertainment News quickly jumped on this subject to deny his claim and prove that this statement is not really true. This is the reality for those like him, who do not have any real money of their own.
Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media news, all the big media companies. So they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know something? They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it.
Do you really think the controllers can have just anyone having control over influential companies, or just anyone having millions and billions of dollars? Money, like knowledge, is power. They cannot have people not under their complete control having that power. That would be a threat to their own. At some level, if you are on your way to having enough money, fame, success, influence, or attention, you will be faced with a choice. Sell your soul to continue and be in the controller's pocket for life, or they will find some way to destroy you and take what you have. There are many ways they will find to do that. We will talk about that in the video on selling your soul. What exactly is the level you can get to before the controllers will step in? Who really knows until it happens? But there is a level you will not get beyond. The world you thought you lived in is not the way the world really is. What you are born into is where you will stay. The worker bee will never become the queen. Without a high price, you will never break out of your caste. There will never be a prison break if no one knows they are in a prison. You will never have a revolution if the people believe they are free. They cannot have the truth get out, ever. And everything that is done is to prevent that truth from reaching the population. That's all I have for you guys today. Everybody stay safe, be good to one another, and God bless.